Most senior citizens clubs and the like organise a summer outing for their members. I thought it would be a good idea to join in on one sick outing and enjoy the trip, the company, the scenery and eventually a cup of tea. We better get a move on though, for the buses are waiting to set off. We're an hour and seated in Mackin for Aberdeen, sitting there so stately and waving to folk like the Queen. Then southwards at great speed, we reach the How of the Mearns, and if ever there was a bonny place, it must be Fettercairn. Through the arch so regal it makes the place stand out, and afore you ken far you are, you reach the roundabout. The fountain is beginning to show its age, but the hall has lost its wheel, and far around the cross, standing proudly by its sail. The Fettery shop is there as well, and the kirk is recht at hand. The Ramsay Arms deal in spirits, bit for the inner man. And so, of course, is the distillery, producing drams so fine. You're bound to see it when you come to Fettercairn. You canna miss the sign. Then on to narrow roads again. It wasn't long afore we reached Drumtochty. I thought the driver was gone gey fast. Well, maybe just a thochty. But soon I forgot the speed we were at and took in the bonny sicht. Trees and shades of all description, dancing and shimmering in the licht. The castle hiding in the woods, its entrance wheel planned out. A house of God, inspiring, o' that there's little doubt. And far around we pass the park o' the Drumtochty Healing Games that attract folk frae far and wide, aye folk with famous names. Loch Sach slips by close to the road, just by the paling side. Its placid waters, nagging on away, for birds and beasties bide. The trees dip their leaves in the water, bathe all branch and flurry twig, and the next weekend it's down the brae to reach the clattering brig. We stopped to hae a gander and took in the peace and quiet, the freshness of the air, the silence, the money on earth couldn't buy it. But the Cairn Mount lies waiting, and so we tack to the slope. To reach the top with fingers crossed can be our only hope. We've made it up the steepest bit with nae muckle bother at all, and looking back, the view down there can take your breath away. The Mearns laid out afore us, reaching southwards to the sea. I've spotted Lawrence Kirk nae far away, and could that e'en be Dundee? Mere braes to climb and sharp nooks to get round, the hills are a dark peaty brown. And looking to the north another brass secht to please a country loon. But seeing the road levels out in a farm or twa, with beasts in their parks we can see, and afore very long it's plain sailing again, we can relax with a view of the Dee. Aboyne new takes our fancy with its centrepiece the green, for the famous games have been held since mony a year long seen. A popular place with tourists, especially when the weather's fair, and there's mere memories of the distant past when you visit the station square. But off we set Ootin's again, the miles are getting less, by the white cottage tea room afore we land in Dess. And they're sitting in a garden, are twa lads that we should ken. We recognise them recht awa, Bell and Ben, the Flowerpot men. The brig offered we he'd by had an Ootin without a stop, and after another mile or twa, there goes the Mosset shop. Lumsden seen is in our sechts, with houses o' local steen. A docile place without a doubt, a far cry fae Aberdeen. Heading east at speed again, the tires buzzing on the tar. Somebody says, Rhynie's next, I dinna think it's far. The bus crawled to a stop and pulled up beside the square. To hae a view o' a recht snod place, you couldna ask for mair. Fae Rhynie we heed for the Cabrach, with its acres o' barren grun. To scratch a living in the past must have ta'en its toll on man. The ruins scattered here and there have their ain sair story to tell. A battle lost against nature, nothing to grow, nothing to sell. But now and again a shade of green and twa, three scattered sheep, and youch to get by, or so it seems, and youch to mak their keep. But dwindling numbers still sair to tak, they're fairly ta'en a dive. The lower Cabrach squealy, wi' its roll at 4 or 5. But here we are at long last, it's time to hae a feed. The grouse in there afore us, and their fare is half a gweed. It fairly maks our day to hae it a dashed up, and fit is even better There's nae washing or plate or spoon or cup. We're ready now to be on the road and head for home again. Our Ootin's aye a winner, and this ain's been the same. The driver's been a topper, and he's been wheel and truly tipper. And fine weekend, when the morning comes, we'll all be sair and hippet.